Renee Kojima didn't start out to be a healthcare hero. In fact, she was eyeing up a future in fashion design. But a little volunteer gig out of college triggered something.
I started volunteering at a doctor's office because my cousin, it was a friend of hers. And then I volunteered at the emergency room at Castle Hospital and thought that I liked it.
That experience led her to switch career paths, but her mother had doubts.
And my mother thought that I should not be a nurse because I'm this big. And so she said, I think you're going to have a really hard time because you don't weigh that much either. It'd be one thing to be as short as you are, but at least if you had weight on you. And so anyway, I defied the odds and did it anyhow. And I've had my challenges along the way, yes, but for the most part, I think I've really loved most of it.
And that love is a big part of why her patients love her back.
So we go about our day wanting to do the best thing for our patients, each one of them. But David in particular is such a great guy. You know, you'd see him on the street and probably walk past him perhaps, but until he talks to you. And then it's really one of those things where he's a Gold Star family member and he's also a veteran. And I think that for that reason, I mean, to me, he should have so much more respect from all of us.
At one time, David almost was a strapping 235 pounds. Then something as common as acid reflux flared up and worsened to the point where doctors had to remove his stomach and esophagus. He was put on a feeding tube for 7 years and his weight dropped to 76 pounds. But things eventually turned around, especially when Renee was assigned as his nurse.
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now. Because she saved my life 3 times. And I'll never forget that. And she's always going to be the top for me. And nothing's going to ever change that. And I love her. You know, I don't know how many people think probably I'm talking crazy, but I'm not. Because I've had other caretakers, and once they leave, I don't never hear from them, you know, when they go home, whatever. But she goes on vacation and calls me and makes sure I'm okay. You know, and nobody else does that. I don't think, anyways. And I've been through so much that she's a godsend.
What's that like to have actually literally saved somebody's life? Not once, not twice, but a handful of times.
I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know that I felt that so much. It was just part of doing the job, of recognizing that something is not quite right, and referring him to see the person that will fix things, like the emergency room. But I think when I look at him, I feel like I need to do things maybe above and beyond, in the sense that I want to save him.
And it seems the caregiving is a two-way street.
No, I don't know that it's just me nurturing him, it's him nurturing me too at times, you know, because I mean, there is a lot of nourishment that comes from the satisfaction knowing that he is doing well, you know. I mean, I think on the days that he's not feeling well, it's negative for me too. You know, it's a downside for me as well.
David wasn't the only one benefiting from Renee's care. His wife, Jean Marie, also credits Renee for making her life better.
It was very difficult. For like 5 years, I had a full-time job. I also, my daughter was in the hospital at one time where I was going back and forth to hospitals every day after work. And then Renee came into our life, and my whole life changed. I now have a new life. Now I've been able to go back to school, so I'm taking an online course and it's like a whole new life for me.
Luckily for the Olmos family, Renee isn't going to hang up her scrubs anytime soon.
I probably could retire, but I choose not to. I find this so fulfilling, and I really do like the fact that when I come to work every day, that I feel like I learn something every day. And I think that's what we're here to do, is to be part of the community. And I feel like that's what we're here to do, is to give back to our neighbors and our friends and treat them like we want to treat our family.